What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. This is Chris from Unheard Word Podcast, and I'm here with King David. How you doing, man? How you feeling?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, man. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your family.
Happy Thanksgiving to you and to everyone all over the YouTube space. Enjoy your day today. Turkey and all, turkey and all. All right, so we have this story that's been really hot across the internet. Shanquella Robinson. So this is the young lady, 25 years old, from North Carolina, that was found, unfortunately, that passed away on a trip in Mexico with her friends. So that's why we titled this stream "Frenemies," because sometimes it's the one that are closest to you. So yeah, we'll get the backstory and everything from the news clips. We'll react to that, and then, like every other stream, we'll give our solutions to the situation for the community. All right, so let's get into clip one.
North Carolina family is pushing for answers after their 25-year-old daughter died while on a trip to Mexico. Shanquella Robinson's parents say that she visited Cabo San Lucas last month with friends. And those friends claim that she suffered from alcohol poisoning before she died. But disturbing new information has emerged, causing her family to question what they were told.
Well, I received a call on Saturday saying that my daughter was sick and that she had alcohol poison. But her doctor had never arrived, so I don't know where they had got the alcohol poison from. I told them just keep me informed, and they did call back, but they still saying it was alcohol poison. So by later on that evening, they called and said that Shanquella had passed. And at that point, it just took my heart crumbled up, just knowing my child was gone, and I couldn't get there to her, could not do anything. Later on that next day, I got a call saying that they was over there fighting Shanquella, saying they don't know why they put it on alcohol poison, say Shanquella, they was jumping on her.
Who called you?
And these were the friends that she was with. Later on that week, that Thursday, we received the call. That was the autopsy saying that her death had nothing to do with alcohol. Say she had a cracked spinal and say her neck had been broken. So that automatic let me know that she were jumped. I talked to them Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and they kept on saying there was never a fight. There was never a fight. So I didn't believe any stories. So after we received the autopsy on Thursday evening, and the autopsy told us what had actually happened to her. And so that took it to a whole nother level because, they're saying that it was alcohol, and alcohol was not the cause of her death.
Yeah.
They jumped on her over there. And if you see the video actually shows that she was not fighting nobody back. She didn't even have a chance. All of them sitting there looking, no one sat, tried to stop it. She had nobody over there to help her,
So this
and
is
there was nothing she could do.
Did the friends talk about the video?
So yeah, I'm gonna pause it right here, so you can see that mom she's going through it. Unfortunately, you send your daughter, or she's grown. She goes on a trip with her quote unquote friends, and they call you once that they're there, saying that she's passed away. Like I think like within 24 hours of them getting to Mexico, and then the cover up has started at this point, unfortunately. So to give some more backstory, so Shanquella was like a beautician, hairstylist. So she used to do kids hair. So she was had like a niche market, which is a good market. And she was one of the more successful young ladies, especially in her group. And so that could have, led to envy, jealousy, and things of that nature. So right before we get your reaction, I'm going to play this other clip talking about the situation.
Her friends all came home and privated their accounts. Now, I won't show it, but this is what's driving me crazy. Now, supposedly there's a video of Shanquella in one of the Airbnb rooms naked while getting hit on multiple times by one of the friends, but not fighting her back. And the person behind the camera asking, "Why aren't you fighting back?" She simply replies that she doesn't want to.
Quilla, can you at least fight back? At least something? At least fight back, something?
Get up, bro! Get up!
She had a heart of gold. She didn't mistreat nobody.
So yeah, more backstory. So she was amongst friends, all turning up, in Mexico. Who knows what happened on the back end? They get to fighting. They recorded it. The gentleman is allegedly Or a friend, but who lets friends get beat on when we're having a vacation? So unless you have just that negative mindset or just ill will hidden in your heart against somebody, the situation really is preventable and very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. So for what we showed so far, what are your thoughts on the situation?
I really think it's just a horrible situation. Like I said, I definitely would not put these people in the category as friends.
Not at all.
That's not a good fit for a word for them because friends wouldn't let that kind of thing happen to you. Friends wouldn't do that type of thing to you. So we don't have necessarily all the details of what's going on, but if you can see, what I'm saying, somebody behind the camera was asking, are you gonna fight? And her response was no.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not gonna fight. It
Mm-hmm.
should have stopped. You know what I'm
True.
saying? Like even if there was reason for it, even if they were beefing over something, even if they were, but I mean, friends should be able to talk over things. It shouldn't turn into a fight anyway. But to see that this is a one-sided thing, it shouldn't have been allowed to continue.
True.
And, what I'm saying?
Very true.
Just if they were real friends, what I'm saying? A couple of licks get thrown, she's not fighting back. That's
Just let it
time for
be.
everybody to rush in and right. That's time for everybody to rush in and stop it. I've had fights before with friends before in my past when I was younger and things like that, and fights
Mm-hmm.
with cousins and this, that, and the other. When it was a fight, it was a fight. When the fight was, what I'm saying, over with, or when it was obvious that somebody wasn't gonna fight back or things like that, like it got stopped. And
True.
usually with a group of friends together, what I'm saying, before we get to fighting, we're gonna all come together as a group and talk this thing out, talk the problem out, so that even get to a fight. If if this really my boys or really my homegirls or really my group, my clique, what I'm saying, and they have to be kind of, what I'm saying, close to a certain extent. If they have the ability to be calling and talking to moms on top of
Yeah.
all that.
Very, very true.
So
Very
that's
true.
just, it's just a hurtful situation.
It
Somebody
is
so young, once again, being taken out by, what I'm saying, violence, you
violence.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like you said, amongst quote unquote friends. So
right.
she knew these individuals from her college. So apparently they all went to Winston-Salem University. And so that's where they all, at least, had the interaction from the collegiate level. So I'm going to play the end of the news clip and then we'll go to the dad and then we'll dive deeper into this.
They acknowledge the video in any way?
No, never.
So let me go back
About the video.
There was nothing she could do.
Did the friends talk about the video? Did they acknowledge the video in any way?
No, never.
Mm.
They never acknowledged the video. Well, Shanquella was sweet, very kind. She had a heart of gold. She loved everybody. She didn't mistreat nobody. Never, no one could possibly ever say anything bad about her because she was a good person.
Was she close friends with the people that she went on this trip with?
Well, all I know that she went to college with them. That one of the guys supposed to have been her best friend.
Mm.
And he had went on family trips with us, and he'd been to the family house. We all been on trips together, just good time. And I never thought that he could be that low to do my child like that.
Have you heard from him since all of this happened?
Yeah, he came to the house 4 days in a row until he found out we knew what the autopsy said.
And you haven't seen him since?
Haven't seen him since. I have learned now that they
So
are.
yeah, that's ain't that something? Family trips coming all around. Oh, y'all great, mama. Mama, we sorry for the loss. We lost her. Need anything?
They literally would probably expect him to see him today.
Mm-hmm. She said 4 days in a row. Come out the house, checking up on me, see how I'm doing. But once the truth comes out, the truth comes out. They disappear, man. They disappear. So, yeah. Let me play the dad's reaction, and then we'll dive right into it.
They don't realize, what they done done, man. They just robbed. They just put a hole in my heart, man. That was my only child. I'm just heartbroken, man. I can't even be a granddaddy. Can't even walking down the aisle, man. Can't even hear a voice.
It's like a nightmare, man. It's I can't even sleep. I'm just frustrated. My heart is just aching, man. And, as a father, man, a praying man.
So yeah, this is the question that I want to pose from the situation. Is this the new reality? Youth, success, envy, the sickness. So is this the new norm, unfortunately, in our society? Getting successful, trying to enjoy your time with friends, and have to be watching over your back.
Unfortunately, that's what it seems to be turning into. I mean, how many times now have we gone through these type of stories where we have successful people, and unfortunately, in a lot of these cases, it's us taking our own out. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? When you look at it, we should be able to, like I said, we should be able to talk things out and work things out and things like that. And we shouldn't have so much animosity towards each other. You know, it's just it makes no sense. It's so sad that if you start to build some success, you now have to literally like make your circle smaller. You got to be real careful who you do hang with. You have
Mm-hmm.
to, it's almost like you're better off going with a group of strangers than you are actually trying to go with people
People who
who you
know you.
actually know. You know what I'm saying? Like I said,
Yeah.
like so she thought she was safe because she was out there with a family friend. You know, somebody
Mm-hmm.
who's been hanging around for a while, somebody who knows her knows her. You feel me?
Yeah.
So him knowing her, it's pretty safe to say that he knew that she's not a fighter. You feel me?
Yeah, you know your
He
personality
knows,
types, yeah.
right?
True.
He knows her. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, yeah, at least he should have been there to stop that from going on.
If you're
So
the
yeah,
best
it's just
friend,
real sad. Best friend, yeah, best friend, like closest one to me. Like that's, yeah, man, that's pretty horrible.
yeah, it's unfortunate, man. But like you said, it's becoming the norm that you gotta be watching these folks. Who you what they say, who you who you come up with sometimes can't go with you, like you said before. Yeah, it's really unfortunate. A young lady had a lot of promise in life, and there are a lot of things that are still swirling as to reasoning, but all the friends have gone private. Everybody came back. Either they kept the story up or they just disappeared.
Right.
Just left her out there. It's reported that the mom had to pay, I think it was like 6,000 plus to get the body back over to the stateside. But yeah, it's a very tragic situation, tragic in all ways. So I want to highlight some things, articles to kind of flush out this topic. So the first thing is envy. Envy refers to often painful emotion caused by an awareness of advantage enjoyed by another person. It is complex, socially repugnant emotion made up of a mix of inferiority feelings, hostility, and resentment. Envy is different from admiration, which is delight and approval inspired by another. So, one thing that I heard someone say, don't envy, emulate. So how they said in this last section, you have the delight and approval to be inspired by someone. Envy is genuinely the polar opposite to that. So it's you see somebody with something, and rather than you aspire to get it, you say, I need to either take it from them or nobody needs to have it. So that person becomes a threat at that point. So the envy is really a sickness in a sense because it corrupts the mind so much that you can't even have a positive thought towards someone because you want what they have so bad, you'll do anything to do it. We've seen it in the hip hop world with the PB and Rock, be it chain snatching or going to people's houses, robbing them for what they got, or literally taking their life over the simplest things because of envy. Like, okay, I can't get the success they have, then there's no stunting no more. There's no more flexing around here. Nobody's gonna have it. So envy is a very powerful and unfortunately dangerous emotion. Some other things I do want to highlight as well. Envy. There's some things to look out for people when it comes to this whole frenemy envy thing. Uh, this article from the website Awareness Center shows signs of envy, people putting you down overtly or subtly. We're gonna put a clip about that. So the little things people can do, undermining of what you got going on. Oh, I see what your little job over there. Like it's a subtle thing. It's very subtle
Subtle,
and it's very
subtle.
common, unfortunately, in our community. Any aspiration or strive to do some more, it always come with a little job. I see you do it. Oh, I do you. I see you. It's always the I see you. There's no.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's genuine. Culturally it can be kind of mixed in, but you don't know everyone's true intention. That's the thing. It's hidden. It's veiled in other things.
Right.
So it says undermining your opinion, showing off about their own achievements. You've seen that. I see that too. So you can say, "Oh man, I had a hard life." oh, my life was harder. Or I made some sales today. I made, $500. Oh, that's light work. I made $500 this morning within an hour. So they always try to undercut your accomplishment. Those are some subtle and unfortunate things that is very prevalent that you may see. Sarcasm disguised as humor, like I said, copying you. I give pushback on that, depending on how they copy, because you can copy someone's business plan and apply it in a different way, potentially in a different area. But becoming a direct competitor, that is a difference to me. If you try to take their clientele and undermine what they got.
Or if you're copying what they have going on, but you're trying to act as though you're the person who actually came
Originate.
up with it.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Yeah, take credit for it. That is a good one. That's a good point right there. Also, this is an interesting one. Passively waiting until you slip up. So let's say you start a business and they say, "Oh, I know it's gonna fail." Like, it's like, really? So you always have these thoughts like, I'm gonna fail. Do you really support what I had going on then?
Waiting on my downfall. Yeah.
Waiting on your downfall. Yeah. So this article is very interesting how they point out these little subtle things when it comes to envy. And it talks about how to survive it. But to kind of break the train of thought, let's play this quick clip right here. It kind of shows these little cues for envy in this right here. It's from RDC World. They're cool guys, content creators, but they kind of focus on Black culture and things that kind of happen with our community. And this clip really highlights the subtlety of envy, or you could call it like sneak dissing too.
Hold on, this you? This you right here? This you? Me. Yo, broke, bum ass, ugly ass. This all clean though, man. I can't even hate, man. This all clean, bro. What year this is? This is 10. Boy, it's about 7 years old, but hey, you still doing something, man. You broke that shit, get everything. You feel me? Come on, man. There you go, right there.
Hey, bro, I got the job.
You got the job?
Yeah.
They gave my nigga the job. Congratulations, my nigga Malcolm X. Look at that, boy. You really doing big things, though. I'm not playing. Those big too, though. Big dick ass, boy. But I'm saying you finna start getting money. You ain't gotta take him go to McDonald's no more, my nigga. A stern father figure dress. Come on, bro. Hey, your boy done finally made it, y'all. He done finally made it. Hey, boy. It only took you 6 years. It only took you 6 years, boy. Stupid. Boy, hey, you cheated half the time, but boy, I'm proud of you, man. Real shit, good shit, man.
Yo, shout out to these guys, RDC World, yo. These guys are dope. But I mean, as a reality, like when it comes to envy, it's that subtle stuff. You get a car. What year is it? It's still clean. It's about 10 years old. You got a new job. They give my dude a job. No more McDonald's, right? You graduate. It took you 6 years. I know you was cheating. Like, really? Can I get some credit? Just some honest credit, please.
And a lot of times when you see those petty slides that come like that, it's from somebody who's they're doing less.
In your circle, the man you come exactly. Go into his house playing video games, sharing your accomplishments with them, but they, slick trying to undercut you little by little. But yeah, I mean that was comedic, but like I said, there's truth in comedy. There's truth in comedy. So yeah, that was an interesting clip. So to get back to the article, some ways to survive envy. When you start feeling smaller, you feel that pressure. You can catch feelings of diminishing yourself. Yeah, don't diminish. What I say, don't dim your light just because others are uncomfortable. Especially if you know what you're doing is genuine or honest. Yeah, don't switch up, because if you have a vision for something, it's not fair to you as well to say, this person feels bad, so let me not. Stunting is one thing, but just trying to live your life, just trying to do something, that's a whole different ball game. Yeah, don't retaliate with criticizing them too, because that's just gonna lead to more contention, things of that nature. And create ways to protect your energy. That was a major one I saw in the article. I was like, yeah, protecting your thoughts and your energy, yeah, and choosing who you hang around is a major thing. Because unfortunately, Shanquella, rest in peace, she was around people who she thought was comfortable, she could share her success with, but that wasn't the case. She couldn't share her success with these people because they had it out for her, be it because of her success as a beautician, hairstylist, when able to do different things financially for either them or herself, or just envious because of her beauty. She was a beautiful woman as well. So the ladies who were fighting her potentially could have envied that, like, oh, I always want to, give her these hands real quick. So you never know somebody's angle. But yeah, the envy can come
And
in
then
many
not
different
just
ways, man. Many
and
different
not just
ways.
that, and not just that. If you look at the best friend, like the mom said, the best friend will go with for them on family trips and stuff like that. So that
Mm-hmm.
kind of showed that she probably had a pretty decent lifestyle
Yeah,
as well. So
true.
her being a girl, her being the only child, you know what I'm saying? They probably took really good care, of her. And so
Yeah.
sometimes, your friends or people who you hang with outside looking in, they see what you're doing, and
Mm-hmm.
they're like, they had to that kind of forms that envy because sometimes you have something that they don't have, you
True.
know.
Yeah, it's very true. Very true. Um, so we'll close out the news clip because thankfully there was some concerns because this situation happened overseas that the jurisdiction wouldn't translate, but it has gotten so much buzz, especially on social media, that the FBI has looked into it, and also I saw that the Mexican officials also on their end. So either here or there, there should be some kind of legal action and penalty coming
I have
down.
learned now that they are looking at it as murder.
Mm.
And I was glad to hear that.
So yeah, we hope that there's some justice for sure coming down the line for the mother, the father, and for Shanquella and all parties affected. But yeah, it's really unfortunate, man. It's really unfortunate, really unfortunate. So yeah, let's dive into we got a comment and then we'll go to the questions. Let's see. Speak Easy says it's reported that there was men in the house. Why didn't her best friend check any of the men? Ask them how did y'all let this happen? True. Like you said, best friend, a true best friend's gonna stick up for you. Gonna stick up
And
for
even
you.
and even if not true best friends, like where's the humanity in this situation? Even if it was
Yeah.
a fight, what I'm saying? She's not fighting back and she's on the floor. Even if this was an MMA match or this was a boxing, if this was and if this was an actual fight event, you feel me? Once that person goes to the ground or once that person is not fighting
Mhm.
back or it seems like they can't protect themselves anymore, somebody's supposed to be rushing in to stop this anyway. So
True.
the fact that she wasn't fighting back, the fact that she was down, the fact that she was there's been so many accounts, over the last several years when it comes down to these acts of violence that
Mhm.
take place that take place like death takes place once that person is fallen. You know what I'm saying? From the additional kicking, the
The
additional
defenseless person. Yeah,
bumping,
that's true.
right?
Yeah.
Because
Mhm.
once you cannot defend yourself, you
Mhm.
can't block a blow. You can't stop the impact, and when you can't stop the impact, you have no control of your head, your neck, or anything.
Mhm.
So honestly and truthfully, that should be rules and grounds of fighting anyway. Once you've knocked that person down and they're not fighting, then you need
Yeah.
to know that's where if there's people there, and we know there's people there because you
Yeah.
see and you hear
The
people there.
videotape. Exactly.
Exactly. The videotape is there. Somebody should have broke it up. I don't care if you had something against her or not. You should have some type of humanity. This is
That's true.
somebody's daughter. This is
Mhm.
somebody's, this is somebody's baby, somebody's niece or something like that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, she was not a mother. They snatched that opportunity away, like the dad
Mhm.
said. They snatched away her being a grandfather. But more than anything, this is a human being.
True.
And it's
Yeah.
sad that we have no respect for the life of human beings
True.
anymore. And I mean, I don't know how we can fix that part, but we got to get to making that part better.
It,
Human life
we
matters.
we can only fix it when we change how we view ourselves. Like we saw with the takeoff situation. We play that clip. If I see you as opposition, as a threat, as somebody I'm competing with, not friendly competition, as competition I need to eliminate, you're not gonna care for that person as you truly should. And that's a lost thing in our community. Gone are the days of brotherly love, sisterly love. Oh, you down bad? Come stay with me. Oh, I got you. Gotta play the food for you. Oh, I know somebody who got a job. I could look out for you. Like
Right.
everybody wants everything for themselves, and if I can't get it, then nobody should have it. And so, like you're saying, how do we change that? Like it has to be a mindset shift. Excuse me,
Gotta be a
because
mindset.
it's the trajectory we are on. We are going to eliminate ourselves at such a rate where it's dangerous. Like it's frightening, to be honest, because it's one thing for men to have arguments and violence, but for the fairer sex, the woman, to be getting into these things and losing their life amongst other women and then being videotaped by the men of society, like what's really going on right now? You know, it's wild, man. It's wild. So yeah. So we'll ask this question. How, let me see if I wrote this right. Have you dealt with a person being envious of you?
So, myself personally, yeah, I think it actually happens. I'm not for sure that how much it actually happens, but I've definitely
Mm,
seen it happen. I've held some positions before in the past, and I've heard things, people not thinking that I maybe deserve to be in the position that I was in, so they've had
mm,
problems with that. Or, just when you're trying to do things in your life, the right way or a certain kind of way, there's always, someone who maybe thinks, less. And then once again, like I said, oftentimes in business, things are always seen as competition when we should be able to cooperate, but unfortunately, people see you as competition other than or as opposed to seeing that there's money out there that we all can go and get. So
true.
you have to deal with envy a lot of times in cases in life whenever you're in the working world and or in the corporate world.
Hmm. Yeah. Especially when it comes to positions of stature, visible jobs, to be honest, just any kind of moderate success. Some people are gonna
Moderate,
moderate
moderate,
success.
moderate.
People are gonna
Yeah,
be like, "Oh, nah, he don't deserve that. What he do to do that, or what did she, or who did she, to get that
mm,
position?" People always want to have that. You can't get it off of true merit. Unfortunately, they always have the,
unfortunately.
"Oh, they don't really deserve that. I could have that," and that there goes that envy, rearing its head. Yeah. So yeah. Have I dealt with a person being envious? I'd say I guess I probably didn't view it as envy at the time. It's just sometimes I view it as okay, if I can do it, you can too. But that's the more optimistic mindset you may have. But it probably is truly envy because if they want your position or they don't feel that you deserve your position, like you said, it is veiled, in envy. Be it how they say, "Oh, I know you getting to the bag. I see you." But
Yeah.
it's that
Hmm.
veil of a jealousy or envy, which is true. Yeah. How do you deal with it? Um, Stay positive. To be honest, I stay optimistic. I really stay out the way, and I try to encourage that person or anybody in general just to be a producer, be productive, because to me, I think that's just the easiest way to go about solving a lot of problems in our world is just do something. It doesn't have to be like a job, just like be productive, draw, make music, go on a hike, like just do something to get your mind off of those negative thoughts because envy can be very all encompassing and lead you down that path of destruction.
See, my thing is, I try to not even give them that mental space for those ones that are being envious. What I
Hmm.
do is I stick to the work, and most people who know me
Hmm.
after I stick to the work long enough, then you're gonna see why I am where I am
True.
because they
Good
realize,
point.
man, David's one of the hardest workers out there. David's
Hmm.
gonna be dependable. I can call on him. He'll get there. He'll make time to be there. He's considerate. You know what I'm saying? Those things of that nature. And a lot of times we as people, we kind of get that feeling like we have to like downtone our shine for somebody else,
Mm,
make everybody else around you comfortable. And you don't have to do that if you know that you're pushing for things. Any position that you do in corporate world or working world, you should
mm,
be pushing for excellence. My parents taught me to always have pride in the work that you do. You know what I'm
true.
saying? You do everything as though you're doing it for God. So
Yeah,
therefore,
man.
it's 110% from the jump. So the second I hit the floor at the hospital, the second I'm anywhere else, I'm zoom, 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 zoom. I'm getting it done. Let's solve these problems. Let's take care of these people. And I've done it when I was in administrative roles in a nursing home. That's what most of my envy, some of the envious things I've had to deal with
Oh,
was
really?
getting, yeah, in the nursing
Nursing
home.
home. Wow.
I dealt with getting into higher positions where
Mm.
you definitely don't see a black male. You know what I'm saying? You
Got
may,
you.
the furthest that you'll see a black male go in nursing oftentimes is floor staff.
Full
But
staff,
I've
yeah.
I've been staff development. I've been ADON. I've like worked under DONs. I've trained ADONs for nursing homes and things like that. And I've come in and I've worked hard treatment nurse. I've done a lot of things. Been called in to help teach staff with staff development. So I've like done the hiring processes. I've done Alzheimer's dementia training. I've done a lot of different things, and I've been called in before to come and help out.
Mm-hmm.
And I've had administrators, administrators,
The upper top.
and and
The
so
powers that be.
right, and they come in and it's kind of like who is this? You know
Try
what I'm
to sun
saying?
you.
Like
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
what makes him, or why y'all calling him? Why y'all bringing him in? And
Mm-hmm.
they may have issues with it, but when it's all said and done, when David hits the building, things change. David brings David
Okay.
difference.
Talk that talk.
Like, oh, whenever I go somewhere, David brings David difference. You're gonna notice that I was there when I'm
Yeah.
there, and you're gonna notice that I was there when I leave.
True.
And so that's something that I've always strived to do. And
Yeah.
so that's my thing. You put in the work, and you're gonna see. You're gonna see why I am who I am, where I am.
True. But yeah, dealing with envious people, like you said, protect your environment, protect what you got going on. And I like that. He said, when David's here, you gonna know David's here. The impact.
That's it. That's it. Impact. That's it. Impact. Impact. Bring value.
Mm-hmm.
When you bring value, then they have reason to keep you. And
Yeah.
if they don't keep you, I guarantee you, it won't be long before they realize that dang, we lost some value.
True. Yeah. So that's very true. Good point. So that's how you should handle people who got that envy on you. Just keep going, keep doing your thing, because fortunately, like you said before, sometimes you got to separate. So we're gonna close out on the solution section. Excuse me. Let's highlight one clip. I think it just listed the persons of interest name for the audience. Just know who's her fake friends are reportedly.
To her. And without further ado, here are the 6 involved. The coward one who was hitting her while she was naked is Dejanay Jackson. Yeah, we all got our foots on your neck. Now let's go on over to the loser Lame, who was recording and thought it was funny to be shady and tell her to fight back. The one and only, her best friend, Khalil Cook. Shame on you. And here are the rest of her friends who were there, in Mexico, and allegedly let it all happen and lied that she drank too much alcohol to cover their tracks. Here we go. Winter Donovan. Yes, you're pretty, sis, but that doesn't mean that you're about to get away with it. So if you're involved, you better start talking and tell us what really happened. Say something, sis. Next, Malik Dyer. You look like you regret going on this trip altogether, like seriously, but you need to start talking and getting justice for your friend. Okay, open up. Say something. Next, we have Elise Hyatt. Girl, you got this innocent office look going on. So if you don't start talking, come on, say something. And Nazir Wiggins. I don't even know what to say about you. But yeah, these are the 6 who know more of what happened. And honestly, the fact that Quella was still naked when this girl attacked her and her so-called bestie was so quick to record is telling me that this might have been a setup for real. Like they had to take her all the way to another country where they knew that the laws were close to none. Clearly, hence no foul play without even looking into it. But if this was pre-planned, that's crazy. With friends like this, who needs enemies?
Yeah, so at least I guess this video was recorded earlier, but we know that there's active investigation into the situation by the FBI and the Mexican authorities. So at least hopefully there'll be some justice that comes out of this. So we're gonna get to the solutions section now. So there's a list. Yeah, let me pull it up right here. So it says, how 5 ways to stop feeling envious. This can be for yourself or for people you can recommend this to. The 5 things, at least bullet points. Cut back your time on social media. Only compare yourself with your past self, not with others. Try something new. Find out what's important to you. Bring more of it into your life. And finally, plan things to look forward to. So those are some things, some solutions I want to highlight. And the reason, especially for the first 2, social media. Social media is a blessing and a curse in our society, unfortunately, because it's good to show success. It's a quick highlight of what you got going on. But unfortunately, some of people's highlight reels can lead to thoughts of jealousy and envy in others because you're consistently comparing yourself with somebody's highlight reel. So all the imperfections, errors you may have, you internalize them and they can fester negative emotions because you're consistently viewing a highlight reel. Think of it like a basketball game. I can show you all the greatest clips of LeBron James and all the worst clips of Michael Jordan, and you would think, dang, there's no doubt LeBron is really the GOAT. It's debatable depending on who you ask, but I mean, like, if I paint that picture for you, you'll always have a negative view of yourself or the opposite because you're consistently seeing the positives. Similar in like relationships, either marriage goals or whatever. If you're only seeing the highlights, you're like, oh, this couple never fights. Then a couple years later, you hear who's beating on who cheating on who, because you only saw the highlights. You didn't see the underworking. So that's why it's advantageous to either minimize your social media or don't internalize it. Don't compare. Those are the two of the major things. If you took anything away from this podcast today, don't compare, minimize your social media, because those are the two things in our society today that really feed into envy for other people, unfortunately. So yeah, what are your thoughts on these bullet points? I kind of have it rolling at the bottom. Let me see if I can bring it
So
up.
I'm real. I see them down there. Point one, I really love that social media. What
Hmm.
people don't understand is like you said, post social media is what people show, what people paint, and what
Hmm.
folks don't realize is they take 2 and 3 hours to give you the best 30 seconds. You feel me?
True.
Seriously, yeah, they no, they take and they retake. They gotta get the angle, the camera right. They do filters. They put
Hmm.
music in the background to make things sound like things are all happy and sunny and all this stuff. And you sitting up here at home jealous of it, but you don't realize that they have to work to give that.
Exactly.
There is so much opportunity that we have right now. This generation has right now more technology and more information at our fingertips than
Hmm.
ever to do anything that we want to do, and we've allowed ourselves to be distracted because we're stuck in social media all day long.
Hmm.
We could be using this same technology to start businesses, to improve ourselves, to grow one another. I mean, there's just so much that we're missing out on because
Hmm.
with the time that's spent. Social media is a distraction. So yeah, and I mean it's good to have it here and there, but limited. Really, you need to actually set a time frame, take the notifications off, all that type of stuff, and just except for Unheard Word podcast, but
Keep that playing in the background at all times.
but decrease some of those notifications sometimes, and actually, have a set time frame to not be on that phone.
Hmm.
That's definitely one. And two, we have to realize that in a world, it doesn't matter what religious tone you want to take. Like I said, we have to get back to a mindset of community and caring about each other and life, period. Then we also have to realize that, you know what I'm saying, like I say, whether it's karma or any other religious construct that you want to take, they all teach the same lessons.
Hmm.
That you should basically treat others like you want to be treated, do others like you want to be treated, things of that nature.
True.
And so we need to, when people are coming up and when people are doing things and when people are
Hmm.
getting better, then we should applaud them. We should support them. We should push them to go further.
Hmm.
Because if you push them to go further and you push them to go up, then you never know what they may be able to do, maybe for you in the future, or the way karma may bring that thing back around. You reap what you sow, the sowing and
True.
reaping concept. So if instead we start actually sowing celebration into ourselves and pushing ourselves and protecting ourselves and making things more of a positive for us, then that positivity gets to give off to others. There's no telling how many other young women or little girls this woman's life would have touched
Hmm.
over her lifespan. You know what I'm saying? She can maybe
Had it
be the
not been
next
cut short. Yeah.
fictitious, but right, had not been cut short. And unfortunately for many communities, but definitely our community and definitely this generational type, this this what is this Gen Z or Gen?
I think they say Z now. I don't
Question
know.
mark.
Let's say Z. It's the end of the world, right?
It's like Gen upside down smiley face.
I
It's like
know.
it's all emojis now. It's not
Anything
even.
goes.
I mean, anything
A lot
goes.
of
But this just
Emotional, damn it.
seriously, it's like what me. It's crazy because
yeah.
there's no thought of recompense, and everybody is just we're just totally desensitized to to others,
Mm,
and the pain that this is possibly going to cause, and we're losing too many youth, and we're losing too much future
true.
if we don't slow these things down, because the older people are getting older and they're
Mm,
dying off. So they're expecting us to come behind them. But hell, if we're killing each other off, getting locked up,
or another conversation,
who's
deleting
gonna come
the
behind them?
unborn
Right,
at a very high rate, unfortunately, in our community too.
right. Not to mention all the different health scares and everything else that's been going
Yeah,
on. And then we're simply not even having as many kids as we used to have. Our
true.
communities are getting smaller and smaller. Our marriages and our households are breaking up. So with all of that that's going on, just put it all together. We're we're not gonna have future if
Yeah,
we don't change some of this.
you're right.
And the other thing that I'm gonna say is we need to learn to collaborate more instead of competing.
True.
Like I said, healthy competition is good, but there's hundreds of thousands of millions of people out here in the world and in these cities and in these neighborhoods and in these streets. There's money.
Hmm.
There's plenty out here. We can collaborate or we can all go get a piece of the bag
True.
instead of us not being able to not being able to, or killing each other's businesses off because like I said, those like your little business, or
Hmm.
waiting for somebody else's business to fail, or bad talking each other's businesses,
Oh
things like
yeah.
that. We can all get those bags. There's enough for everybody. So let's work together versus working against each other. Let's let's stop the envy. And the last thing that I'm gonna say about it is, once again, it starts at home.
Hmm.
A lot of this, kids and youth grow up seeing what their parents do and how
Yeah.
they talk about each other and how they fight each other and
The conflict
how
conflict resolution is the main
exactly
thing. So yeah,
conflict resolutions. We gotta teach our kids how to resolve these things, talk about these things, talk about their feelings, talk about all this stuff instead of turning things into a fight.
true. That's true. That's true. We got to do better. Got to do better. All right,
Gotta
so
do
we
better.
got two last clips to close out the solution segment, and then we'll do our closing arguments.
If you got to question their intentions with you, you need to get away from them. Like, if you are always the friend where they picking on you, they throwing shady comments at you, they speak down to you, they belittle you, they gang up on you, they do these weird things, and it's truly out of spite and envy. They always trying to fight you when alcohol is involved and things like that. Those are not your friends. And I don't play when it comes to this. Like, I've been betrayed by friends a few times. And when they do that, cut off. Cut off. Cut off. I don't play about that. When you got a jealous, envious friend around you, that's your life that you're playing with. And it's serious, especially today within the midst of like social media, where your friends can keep up with things that you're doing on a daily basis. You never know how people are truly viewing your social media.
Yep. Shout out to her. I think her name is Yanni on TikTok and YouTube. So yeah, like she said, you don't play about this envy thing because people just be watching and plotting. To be honest, that's what they do sometimes. Watch and plot. All right, we got one more clip, and then we'll give our conversation points on this.
To realize when I started to get money and become successful, hit the gym. As soon as you start taking life seriously, going to the gym, abstaining from alcohol, abstaining from partying, abstaining from doing stupid shit that normal people do, that's going to put you in a position of success. Instead of saying, yo, man, that's really good. How do you do that? 9 out of 10 times they're going to say, bro, you changed. Yeah. Bro, you're whack. You're not
arrogant.
fun.
Yeah.
You're a buzzkill. They're going to shame you for you striving to do something better. You want to know why? Because when they see that you're just like them, come from the same cloth, come from the same neighborhood, maybe you look the same, whatever it may be, and you get out there and you make active change to become a somebody, what do? You take that fucking spotlight and shine it on them. And then they're in a very uncomfortable position where it's like, he's doing it. He's the same as me. He's being successful, but I'm still where I started. What the I don't like this feeling, so let me shame him to bring him back and get the spotlight off me. Yep. But your job is to say, fuck you, and keep that spotlight on them. And that's by you abstaining from doing the dumb shit, not giving into peer pressure, and continuing to follow the mission. But that's what happens anytime you want to become successful. And the scariest part of this is it's going to be the people that were closest to you. Right. They're going to be the first ones to try to oppress you from doing that self-improvement.
Yeah. So that was Fresh and Fit. They've got some touchy stuff, but I mean, there's a fair clip. I mean, that's a good point he said there. The people closest to you, when you're elevating and on your grind, sometimes they can start feeling away. Like, dang, I should be doing more. But rather than do more, like he said, they pull you back or try to pull you back in different ways.
I like that. Yeah, definitely. And I like that one. And I'm gonna like tap in with him on that thing that the go to the gym part.
Mm-hmm.
Not just with going to the gym, exercise for health purposes, but I would actually even say do some things to be more prepared to protect yourself. Put it this way: if you're not a fighter, like she was not a fighter, if you're not a fighter, then you should do things to or learn things to protect yourself. There are forms of martial art that focus more on defense versus attack.
I get you. Yeah.
You feel me? So learn how to, like go to the gym so you can tough it up a little bit more, get some more strength, things like that, get some more speed so you can run faster. You know what I'm saying? Do some things to help you learn how to better communicate. Because sometimes communication is defense. Sometimes just learning the psychology of things, getting to psychology and pay attention to, body language and change of voice and tone, things of that nature. Pay attention to that stuff and get the heck out of there.
True.
Follow your intuition. But yeah, I would definitely say that you need to learn ways to protect yourself. So that what that be, that's big. And the other thing that I'm gonna say is if you're really trying to be successful, and I hate to say that because people always talk about, people the change up. But the fact of the matter is, if you really want to be successful, that's really your goal to be successful, then you need to surround yourself with friends or get yourself into a circle of friends that are a level up from you so that you actually can learn from them. A lot of times when you're with a group and you're the one that's the highest in the group, 9 times out of you got about a 75% chance that there's going to be the envious within your own group that's going to look to take you down. You know what I'm saying? Especially, like I said, as you start changing, because like I said, what the guy was saying was about it puts the pressure on them, but not only does it put the pressure on them, but sometimes as you make changes, it makes them uneasy because they can't get what they used to get from you now. You know what I'm
More
saying?
boundaries, yeah.
Right, because you're doing
it could be a
something
time, could be things, yeah, true.
right. So because you no longer give to them the things that they want, they need to bring you back down to the level because they need you back for the comfort that you bring them, the fun you bring them, the excitement that you are to the party. So sometimes they won't let you go up there. They pull you down. Like, nah, we need you to stay here with us because you're benefiting us at this level. You don't benefit us at that level. So that's
good point. You see that a lot in like gang or drug culture. Like if you try to leave, there's no leaving right now, my friend. We need you to do this job. So well, yeah, not to get too far off topic. Like you said, true. Gotta check your circle, check who you're around. Envy comes in very different ways, like we discussed earlier. It can be your passive aggressive, people just waiting for you to slip up, undermining what you got going down, putting down what you're trying to do overtly or subtly. But you gotta not retaliate, switch up who you're around, how you move, limit social media, guys. Limit social media. Don't live life or base your life based on what you exclusively see on social media because like David said, these are highlights. These are 30-second clips with 3 hours of preparation. So I like that. That's very true, and it's a very honest analysis of the landscape of social media. But any final thoughts before we close out?
No, people just protect yourself. Once again,
Mhm.
condolences go out to the family. And we have to start to teach, in the household. We need to get back to, humanity. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Uh, I'm uh, I'm just really big on, on life mattering, not putting colors or this, that, and other on nothing. I'm not talking about no organizations. I'm just talking about the belief in the concept.
Just life. True.
All of our lives matter, and we have to learn to respect our lives if we want other people to respect our lives.
True. If you don't value it, why should I?
Right,
That's the
right.
premise. That's truth.
And it's already pretty evident that there's groups or those people out there that don't value us already from the beginning. So we got to realize that in some cases and situations, we all we got.
Hmm.
We all we
So
got.
don't make it harder on ourselves by
Don't make
the
it
little we
harder.
do to elevate and better ourselves for the community.
Don't make it
Don't
harder.
chop ourselves
Exactly.
down. Don't chop ourselves down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Don't chop us down. And that's on the life level, that's on the business level, that's on the education level, that's with our neighborhoods, that's with our lawmakers and our politicians. Like, we need to push to build ourselves up. And it starts at home and it goes to every single level. And if we don't start making the changes have to start somewhere. People
Mhm.
don't want to start because they feel like, oh, it's not going to happen fast enough. But if we never start, it never happens. Like we said earlier, our generations are declining fast.
Mhm.
We got to make the change fast.
Y'all
I'll
heard it.
stop there because that's another episode. So I'll stop there.
Make the change, y'all. Starts with us. Starts at home. All right, guys. So thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Unheard Word Podcast. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Hope y'all have turkey if y'all eat turkey or whatever food choice
Enjoy.
is your preference. If
Enjoy.
you're vegan, you want to
Exactly.
have some veggie patties or something. Y'all enjoy it. So yeah, till next time. Thank y'all for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate y'all over here. Want to hear from you? Drop a comment below. Let us know how you feel about the episode or about future episodes, topics, things that we can cover on the show. All right, y'all. Till next time. Peace.